Hello everyone! Welcome to the mania 7K World Cup 2024. I'm sorry, I'm Bulma Gamer PH76 in the commentary booth, and joining me here is gonna be Sparky. The both of us are gonna be commentating United Kingdom versus Germany in the round of 24. Sparky, how are you doing today?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. Excited to finally be back in the commentary booth for another amazing 7-key World Cup. And as you mentioned, we have a pretty exciting matchup here ahead of us. In this hour, we have, as you mentioned, the United Kingdom going up against Germany, trying to punch their ticket into that winner's round of 16, see if they can go up against. I don't know who actually they're going to go up against if they do win. We'll find out once this bracket's all done. Looking it up right now. Little bit too
I can
much.
check the challenge. I can check the challenge right now, actually. So this is they're going up against China, seed number 2. Whoever is the winner of this one.
What a reward. What a reward for winning this match. You go up against the number 2 seed. I mean, to be fair, as I always like to say, in order to be the best, you gotta beat the best. So, gotta be able to test your mettle. You gotta be able to make it through this match unscathed. And while we wait for everything to get set up, go ahead and introduce the players we got on the side of the United Kingdom. We got Uzi, Captain Crow, Vigatron, and Zifla going up against Germany with Sukiya Whiskers, Vinkus, Sinkip, and Susher. I'm gonna say Shusher, but omit one of those H's.
I'm very familiar with players like UC and Vigatron. Vigatron is a player I've seen in MWC 2019 7K, and they did pretty decent in that one. Meanwhile, in Germany, I'm very familiar with Sukiya Whiskers. Sukiya Whiskers has been in here for a very long time. I'm also familiar with Vinkus HD. I've been to a couple of their streams and all that. But overall, these set of players, pretty good set of players for both countries, though. To be fair, considering the lack of 7K tournaments and whatnot, I think it's safe to say that experience is gonna be around the same. I'd have to say, at least.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely some players looking to prove what they are made of on the big stage here. But that being said, they do have a pretty even amount of experienced players to try and get them over that finish line. To those of you just joining us for the first time, first of all, welcome. And second of all, this is a best of 9 format, so first team to 5 points will be seeing themselves moving across in that winner's bracket. Loser not eliminated just yet, just going to need to make that run in the lower bracket. So looks like we got the rolls out of the way. The UK will protect first, followed by Germany, and then Germany will ban, followed by the UK. So we'll get through those protects, and it'll be very interesting to see what these two teams have in store in terms of strategy. It's always one of those cases where some of these matches devolve into a bit of a Rice versus LN matchup. But in 7-key, I mean, a lot of players tend to stick towards that Rice, and the LN becomes a bit more of a novelty specialty type of skill set. That being said, there are some teams that are wanting to go into those LNs, so it'll be interesting to see which of these two countries will want to delve into that realm first.
Well, okay, I'm really unsure about the statistics and all that. Like after that, but let's take a little bit of a look, shall we?
And while you look for that, it looks like the UK will be protecting Rice 1. So Luminaria are going to be staying put, not going to be allowed to be banned in this matchup. Wait to see what Germany counters with on their protect.
I mean, honestly, like, the incorporation of protects has been such an interesting move in general. Like, and honestly, it's a great change because it really adds more to the strategic side of things. That being said, United Kingdom protecting Rice, Luminaria is I think it's an interesting protect considering what kind of team UK is, and Germany going for LN. I think it actually just lines up very well. Because if you were to look at both the United Kingdom and Germany as a whole, I do think Rice is really what's United Kingdom's strong suit in comparison to Germany. While Germany probably shines above United Kingdom on these harder LNs. At least that's how I can see it. Then
Yeah.
again, though,
mm, to your point,
then
I was gonna say that Germany does have a bit more to work with. You do also have the hybrids lingering in and around there in the map pool. Can probably pull those out as well because there are only 3 LN picks compared to the now 4, with Rice 3 being banned out, so no flash dance going to be allowed in this match. And we're going to round it out with the UK. Would not be surprised if we saw LN1 or LN2 removed from this pool. A bit of a strategic shot at this Germany pick order.
I do think Team 37 is the best band for United Kingdom. Absolutely the best band. Yeah, there we go. Team 37. I'm not
Right on
surprised
cue.
anymore. I do think United Kingdom should be picking. It's difficult really to make a judgment because the thing about early game Rise is a lot of this is something that Germany could do as well. Even if the qualifiers state that, let's say, United Kingdom has a better score, right? These picks are not going to be too physical for Germany. At least I think they are. But um, then I just think United Kingdom has to be very trying to pick safe to start everything. So maybe Raindrop could be a good choice to start. Banka is not a good map to start with in my opinion, because that pick is not only short, but that pick has such a small combo. So if you make any mistake, and like not to mention we're at the start, so the pressure isn't exactly on yet.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely kind of a pick your poison kind of moment. To your point, the qualifier is definitely a couple of stages above what these players are going to be facing off on in this particular map pool. So it does bring those more accuracy-oriented, less physical players back into the fold to try and contest on some of these picks. So it'll be interesting to see how it develops. Some potential breakpoints up for grabs for either of these countries, because to the point of Rice being a little bit easier, the LN does also get a little bit easier as well. So we are still waiting for the UK to make their first pick. Can theorize left and right about what that first pick is going to be. Rice 2 seems like a pretty good option. Rice 1 as well, given that that is their protect, seems to be a bit of a comfort pick potentially for them to try and get this match off on the right foot. You want to put your best foot forward in these opening matches because you don't want to find yourself needing to play catch up, needing to potentially get a breakpoint on a skill set that you're not too comfortable sending your team out on. And it is going to be Rice 2, so Raindrop going to be the pick here for the United Kingdom.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You gotta go for something that's really within your comfort zone to start, because this is what's gonna set the tone for the rest of the match. Raindrop, at least on the difficulty, you can already tell it's a chord stream pick. And yeah, I can tell why United Kingdom wants to start with this, starting with the comfortable Rice maps off the way, and trying to get their points early on. It's a very good strategy, at least if you want to open a match with a strong point. But then again, once you get all the comfort picks out, that's when the pressure really starts to pick up. You gotta be careful as to what kind of pressure do you want. Do you want pressure on the sense that you're trying to attack your opponent's weaknesses? Or do you want the pressure that both of you are going to do really well, but you're just gonna have to hope that you're gonna be able to outact the opponent? In a close seeding match like this, I'd actually want to go for the former, where you're trying to attack the weaknesses of the opponent because of how close everything is going to be.
Yeah, that actually seems like a pretty decent strategy. It'll be interesting to see how that develops, see if either of these countries decide to opt for that strategy where they might venture into their opponent's skill set, see if they can snatch a couple of points away from them, pinch that map pool just that ever so tighter to force them to start making some uncomfortable decisions when it comes to their future map picks, especially in this best of 9 format. There is a tiny bit of room to explore those kinds of options early on. Maybe not once the match really starts to reach that like middle point or like late game where you're down to like your last couple of picks. But as it stands, we're gonna have Uzi and Vigatron going up against Synkip and Sukiya Whiskers on Raindrop, first map of this match. MP Star Command comes out. We are loaded in here.
Wait, Vigorun's actually playing with flashlight?
Looks to be
Oh
so.
wow.
Love seeing the
That's cool.
flashlight players.
That's really cool. It reminds me of a Malaysian player. I think it was My Idiot. My Idiot was a really good flashlight player and honestly really cool. Also reminds me of Fatasha Meth, now to think about it, one of our fellow commentators. But then again, look at this problem. We're seeing an accuracy deficiency in the United Kingdom. Vigatron dropping some early 300s, I think. But Sin kept finding a miss. That's more crucial because that's just gonna tell me one thing. Chord streams are gonna be something that Sinkip might want to avoid. And if there are more picks like this in the pool, then the United Kingdom may be able to use that to their advantage.
Yeah, just these denser, heavy chords could potentially be a bit of a spot of bother for Germany, something to keep note of for the United Kingdom moving forward. But for right now, we do have a bit of a back and forth. Uzi and Sukiya Whiskers duking it out, 99.8% accuracy for both of them as we transition on into the second third of the chart. Sinkip still not to higher accuracy compared to Vigatron, but Vigatron doing everything in their power to maintain this 99.5 pace, starting to pick it up a little bit from that earlier rush of notes, just trying to get settled in here. And it is accounting for about 2,000 points in the United Kingdom's favor. Could easily swap over if Sinkip continues to build up this accuracy. If they can get back up to that 99.7 range with Vigatron starting to drop a little bit here, a couple of tenths of a percent makes all the difference as we make our way into the last third. And Uzi finds the drop in return, gonna swing this lead back on over to Germany.
That is not good. Like, that kind of miss is really brutal because it's not just the fact that Germany has an accuracy advantage, but the lead that United Kingdom had was so minimal that if they kept that kind of performance, it would have went to Germany either way. But right now, we're on the easier side of the chord stream, so this is really just gonna give Germany an opportunity to extend this lead even further. And I honestly think that's gonna do it unless we see a double miss from Germany, which is highly unlikely, considering that both players, like, there just comes a point where you're on the zone and you're just able to focus and centralize your UR, which is what Germany is doing right now. Very impressive work, and that should do it. The first point is going to be a break point on Germany's side.
Yeah, very well done from the Germans here. An early drop overcome with relative ease to get that first breakpoint, make it 0-1. And to your point, now maybe they see that they have a bit of an avenue in on these rice picks against the United Kingdom. Maybe some potential pick order changes, or maybe they'll stick with what they're comfortable with. Would not be surprised to see an LN pick come out in response to try and double up, because you can get a little bit more risky with your pick now that you have that breakpoint in the back pocket.
This begs the question. Like, we're talking about breakpoints and talking about changing the strategies and all that. I think this makes Crush Alcohol a really good pick for Germany. Because if you think about it, Raindrop has chord streams, right? And Crush Alcohol is very densely oriented. So I think Crush Alcohol really could benefit Germany as an LN pick in general. But that being said, I think Germany should go for a hybrid. Because there's two LNs on the board, and you got one breakpoint ahead. So if, let's say, you're taking a risk on the hybrid, it shouldn't really hurt too much. But instead, they're going for Chronoxia.
Yeah, maybe opting for the safer pick of the 5 in the bottom half of the map pool. Don't want to push the envelope too hard, stick to what they know. Gonna see some substitutions coming out here for both sides. Uzi and Sukiya staying in for their respective countries. And we're gonna see another player come in for both sides, potentially. Much shorter pick overall as well, clocking in just under 2 minutes. So misses on a map like this are going to be much more damaging compared to some of the longer picks in this pool. Not a lot of room for error as we see Zifla check in for the United Kingdom and Vinkus step in for Germany. So as it stands, we wait for the players to ready up. Germany currently with the breakpoint in hand, an opportunity to double up as we continue on in this match. And we are going to see the first LN pick in this match as well. Going to be interesting to see how the United Kingdom stacks up. Maybe we see a bit of a reversal of fortune. That breakpoint gets handed back on over. And it looks like the players are ready. The MP Star Command comes out, and we are going to get into Chronoxia. Big opening impact, not catching any of the players out. Gonna wait for everybody to settle in, build up their accuracies, but we do see some pretty significant drops very early on. Uzi and Vinkus hovering that low 99%, gonna start to pick it up a little bit as this introduction begins to finish up here. And now the real test begins.
I do apologize for what happened. There just seems to be a small crash on my PC, but we're back. And as you say, the test indeed does begin as Sifla and Vinkus finding a trade back to back. But I think it's gonna affect Germany more because Vinkus' AC is lower than Sifla's right now.
Yeah, but Sukiya is doing everything in their power to keep them ahead at the moment. Highest accuracy in this lobby by a considerable margin, almost 0.5% ahead of their next closest competitor in either Zifla and Uzi, both trading that 99.2 on their side, with Zifla finding another drop, going to help increase this lead for Germany as Uzi falls as well. No combo left on the side of the United Kingdom as Germany begins to run away with this just ever so slightly, eking this lead to a tune of about 20,000 points as we cross the midway point. A bit of a break for the players to regain their composure a little bit, build up some of this accuracy for this final gauntlet, last third upcoming now.
Uzi, Sifla, and Vinkus have like roughly the same performances right now. It's really Sukiya Whiskers, but wait, Vinkus dropping that accuracy, look at that significant drop. If Sifla didn't make that miss, that really could have went to United Kingdom's way even more. But Vinkus really needs to put in the work as Sukiya Whiskers trying to push this team to the victory. There's still a little bit of map left, and if any more mistakes happen, this is gonna go really bad for Germany.
Oh, but as it stands, I think they have done enough. Sure, that miss at the end cut the lead in half, but Sukiya's dominating FC pushes Germany over the finish line at the very end, and they managed to successfully capitalize on that breakpoint to make it 2-0 now.
Totally
what a
the 200
performance.
Totaling the 200 counts from both UC and Sifla, I think Germany actually has a slightly higher 200 count. But Sukiya Whiskers' full combo was just too strong for United Kingdom to even be able to take a little bit of that lead.
Yeah, it got a little bit dicey there towards the end, but like you were mentioning, that trade between Vinkus and Zifla there at the end, basically keeping Germany ahead at the basically 11th hour there to see them through to get that second point. And now with the UK up to pick once again, what do you go for here? Do you start getting a little bit risky with these rice picks and go for something like Banca or Unknown Amnesia? Or do you kind of stick to your guns, go for the more speed-oriented pick in Luminaria? Remains to be seen. Some questions to be answered as we continue on for this third map.
Consistency-wise, Germany seems to be the slightly more advantageous in that aspect. So Banca is scary for the United Kingdom. Not to mention, accuracy-wise, Germany also wins that. So, in general, Banca's a pick the UK should just really avoid. And something that Germany could make as a surprise pick. Maybe they can go for Luminaria or Unknown Amnesia. But honestly, if Vinkus is playing one of these hybrids, UK could probably go for the hybrids as well.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely some things to consider on the side of the UK. I don't want to put them in a box of being only a rice-oriented team. They can definitely swing some of these performances. They almost managed to pull a fast one on Germany on Chronoxia. So, not the safest avenues, but there are definitely avenues for the UK to navigate through, and it could potentially manifest itself in those hybrid picks. It's just gonna depend on what they decide to go for, and they're really taking their time, and it is going to be Rice 1, so sticking with the comfort pick, going for that protect to try and right the ship a little bit, because right now it could potentially go from bad to worse if this doesn't pan out in their favor.
Yeah, Luminaria was honestly the most sensible pick out of all of the Rises. Banka was just really a pick that just doesn't sit right with me. Honestly. So I do think United Kingdom made the right choice here. Vigatron, if we're gonna go for the consistency, I think Vigatron could be a good choice. But if Syphla's accuracy is better than Vigatron's, then the risk here could probably work out. It's just Germany's Rise Act has been really solid. Like we saw Sukia Whiskers and Simkip being a solid duo in that regard.
Yeah, for sure. So with that being said, the players are ready. Gonna get into this third map of this best of 9. Can the United Kingdom pull their first point out of the bag, or can Germany pick up yet another break point to start this match off and really put the pressure on the United Kingdom to start putting some points together here? Gonna remain to be seen as we get into Luminaria.
So yeah, we're seeing some streams here, and right now, look at the scroll speed difference from Sukiya Whiskers and Sinkip. Like you see a very slow scroll speed for Sukiya, it's really fast. But ooh, as I say that, Sinkip finding a drop. Honestly, the thing about streams in slow scroll speed is they definitely look very dense as opposed to Sukiya Whiskers' screen, and I think that's sort of actually giving a disadvantage to Sinkip right now.
Yeah, I think with 7 key, you get a lot of players used to playing with stuff like lane covers, so potentially looks faster on their screen than what we can see since we have the benefit of seeing the whole playfield. But regardless, that transitional mess up, the only drop in this lobby so far. And as I say that, Zifla returns the favor. You know, put a bit of a dent in this United Kingdom lead with a second drop to boot going into the back half of the chart. A bit of a break now for everybody to regain their composure for a second.
Yeah, but hopefully the consistency is going to be recomposed here. But man, this is just going to go to Germany as Sinkip regains the consistency. The combo cap is up there again. Sypha fighting another drop. Very unfortunate. But this lead is nothing yet. It's not exactly the biggest lead. UC doing everything they can keep up with Sukiya Whiskers. Sinkip doing a really good job being consistent. Like that's all they gotta do to try and secure a third point. But it's not over yet. There's still a lot of opportunities for the United Kingdom to get a point.
Yeah, for sure. Last quarter of the map still coming through here. Germany not out of the woods just yet. Need to be able to put this outro together. About 8,000 points in their favor. Has been enough to secure points in the past for them this match so far. But any singular slip-ups, especially because of the fact that Sinkip doesn't have the highest accuracy, the only player actually below that 99% mark. If Sukiya were to find a drop, that could be detrimental to their overall performance. That lead is shrinking the overall accuracy for the United Kingdom. Now that both players are above that 400 combo cap, not going to be enough at the end of the day, and Germany hangs on to pick up yet another breakpoint against the United Kingdom to make it 3-0.
Is it me? Or United Kingdom's 200 counts have really been lower than Germany's, but Germany's consistency has really been keeping them afloat. And honestly, if it's what works, that's what you gotta keep on doing. Germany's just gonna try to keep those combos up, because man, those opportunities have been open for Germany.
Oh, for sure. I think it's really just coming down to the fact that Sukiya has been this sort of anchor for Germany so far. 3 for 3 on these standout performances, being able to just do enough in terms of holding on to accuracy, holding on to their FCs, most importantly, through some of these picks. When their partner does find a slip up here or there, I mean, it is bound to happen. These maps are hard at the end of the day. These players do a magnificent job making these look pedestrian to the average person. But overall, you need that balance between the two of you to see yourselves through to the end, and they're really working well in tandem with each other. And with the next pick, they could potentially make this a match point situation right out of the gate here.
I'd say Crush Alcohol works, but you know what, Sparky? Vodka might be a good pick. Why?
You never know.
Because consistency has been on the German side, and Vodka is all about the consistency and accuracy. I think that could work, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
and it goes to your point from the start of the match. It's like which of these two teams potentially could start scoping out their opponent's strengths to start poking away at it. But it's not going to come to fruition here. They're going to opt to go for the first hybrid pick in this match. It's going to be pure silver coming through here for Germany to try and make this a match point situation.
yeah, I mean, this is the safer option. Like, going for hybrid. I can definitely see why they're going hybrid. Like, just in case United Kingdom steals a point, they still have LN to lay onto, which is a good strategy from the German side. Like, they recognize what's left in the table. They know that at some point United Kingdom can get a point from them, and they most definitely know that they have their own weaknesses. So it's a good self-awareness for the team to pick something like this. For United Kingdom, I honestly think they just have a chance to take a break point on every map. Like, it's been so close. No picks have been super dominant.
Yeah, for sure. We have seen these trades back and forth between these two countries. I mean, we harken back to LN2. That was inside of, 3,000 points between these two countries. It just comes down to who can keep that consistent run going, who can avoid those little mistakes here and there at the inopportune times, and most importantly, avoid the trades of misses, because timing really does play a factor on some of these picks sometimes, where sometimes if you do find a miss, it's better to find it early than later on, because by then your opponent's already found their way back up to that 400 combo cap to get full credit for their judgments, and that's really when the score starts to slip away. So now we move on to the fourth map of this best of 9. Germany on the cusp of making this a match point situation. The United Kingdom still trying to find their first point of opening into this match. And they have to try and find it on pure silver here.
There's already been a couple of opportunities. Actually, in all the maps, there have been opportunities for United Kingdom to take a point, but their efforts just hasn't really been shown. There hasn't really been enough yet. But they've been making some strides. Germany, on the other hand, has been capitalizing on every opportunity that they get. Right now, does look like United Kingdom has a slight accuracy advantage, given that Syphla is matching Sukiya and UC is ahead of Vinfist. But it's still ridiculously close. You see those technical patterns right there? What I fear the most about patterns like that is how easy it is to drop 200s.
Oh, for sure.
And
We've been seeing a number of them. Sorry to cut you off there. During this early going, and as we make our way into the back half of the chart, we start to see the players begin to recover a little bit. We see Vinkas on this recovery run back up to that 99.3 range, but right now it is... Oh, I was about to say ball in the court of the United Kingdom, but Syphla finding the drop here with both FCs still left on the board for Germany does give Germany the momentary score advantage. There is enough time for Syphla to get back up with that 400 combo cap, and they're going to start making a bit of a dent in this deficit to try and potentially bring the lead back, because they both still have a higher average accuracy than the German roster at the moment. But it's going to come down to maintaining composure, being able to FC the rest of this map after that drop. Remains to see the last quarter of the map coming through now. Lead extends to about 5,000 points, but it is shrinking more and more as we continue here.
those Grace Notes and LNs have been giving the United Kingdom a shot. That accuracy on Germany is not that... I don't think it's ahead that much of the United Kingdom. But like, yeah, if any mistakes happen on the German side, but we're only having a few notes left, some LNs and some Graces, but I don't think that's just gonna do it. Like Germany, I kept on saying a while ago, is just the more consistent team, and they've been showing it all throughout this match, just keeping it together. Very impressive performance. Wait a second! What just happened? Is that enough? It's not enough! I'm so sorry. I almost caused that. Oops.
No harm, no foul at the end of the day, but that is definitely a heart-in-mouth moment if you are a German supporter. Sukiya finding a 50 and a miss there at the end of the chart, dropping that lead to just inside 2,000 points, just the tiniest reprieve. I believe that's the first mistake they've made in this match so far. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, they've been riding a hot hand, and it amounted to nothing at the end of the day. Again, no harm, no foul. Germany makes it a match point situation. Now the United Kingdom needs to pull out the broom, reverse sweep their way to that tiebreaker to try and claw a result out of this. What are they gonna go for here?
You only really have Banka and Unknown Amnesia. Oh man, I don't know what to do, but probably go for... Well, a Rice is the more sensible pick. That's for sure. They should not go Crush Alcohol.
No world in which they go LN3. But, I mean, the deficit on Pure Silver, 2,000 points. Not the biggest lead, and I mean, to be fair, Germany didn't really extend any sort of advantage. That was basically Germany hanging on as Vinkas made that recovery run from that early mishap of a couple of 200s coming through. Do you potentially go something like Hybrid 1 or Hybrid 3? It's going to be Freshness Vacation coming through for the United Kingdom to try and avoid the sweep here.
To be fair to the United Kingdom, they did lose 2 Rice picks. So picking another Rice pick is... It's like not a good decision because you're like trying the same thing over and over and over and over again. So maybe try something different. And in fact, that 1-3-1-3 difference that you mentioned is the closest difference we've seen so far, if I'm not mistaken. So honestly, good choice for United Kingdom to notice that a change in strategy is needed. But I feel like this change was super spontaneous, and they were probably not as prepared as they could be on a field. At least what I'm trying to say is that you need to make spontaneous changes even if you're not that prepared to pick something like that. Because at the end of the day, it's these changes and adjustments that you have to make for you to have a chance. Because the environment in tournament is not going to be the same all throughout. There are going to be adjustments. There are going to be some changes that need to be made. And United Kingdom is making a good change in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. So, remains to be seen. Looks like we're going to see all 4 players remain in the lobby for this map, potentially the last one of this match, unless the United Kingdom has something to say about it. See the double mirror coming out from Germany? No mirrors on the side of the United Kingdom.
Although to start off, it doesn't really look too complicated. Like you're only throwing in a few LNs and some graces. Though UC already dropping a 200, which is going to be scary. This is OD7 though, which is actually among the higher ODs on a 7k map pool usually for tournaments. That being said, comparing both of their accuracies, it's literally the same! Never mind, as Vinkas drops a few 200s, I think.
Yeah, we're going to see a bit of a mirror image of the earlier hybrid pick where the UK is going to have this higher average accuracy to start things off. But as I say that, Uzi finds the first drop, and they have been the one carrying the higher accuracy for this UK roster. That's going to do a pretty significant dent in early goings for them and in their quest to try and notch a point on the board here. But as I say that, being buoyed by the accuracy, but the second miss is going to do a significant amount more damage as Vinkas returns the miss in favor, but neither of them want to hold on to the combo for the moment. It is a 1v1 between Sukiya and Zifla. Vinkas and Uzi are having their own battle on opposite corners of the playfield, but for right now, it is Germany the beneficiaries of all these misses to the tune of about 10,000 points as Sukiya finds a massive drop going into the back half now.
That is going to give this advantage to United Kingdom at some point. Syfla trying to keep up. UC doing a good job keeping that accuracy above Vinkas. Syfla keeping that consistency. So many graces, and I think some mini jacks were actually even present. So man, what just happened? That was the worst place to miss. That was the worst place to miss. But man, if there's anything we learned, there's a chance for Germany to miss. As I say that, there it is. The lead is just gonna slowly go to United Kingdom. Is it gonna be enough?
There's a quarter of the map left to go here. Zifla finds the drop!
Let's do it! I think that does it! Unless Germany finds a double miss, that's gonna... Wait, Saido's dropping act really fast! That's gonna do it!
Oh, that is
Germany!
heartbreaking.
That was so painful. I thought United Kingdom had it, but man, Germany is gonna take this win 5-0. All of the maps were so close, but what a heartbreaker on this map.
Yeah, they had it. They had the only FC left on the board, but unfortunately not able to carry it through to the end. Germany, Sukiya and Vinkas doing just enough to pull the lead back in their favor, and once it was, they never let it go from there. Congratulations to them winning this match 5-0 and punching their ticket into that winner's round of 16 to face off against China next weekend. Oh boy, what a reward. United Kingdom, not out of it just yet. Just going to drop down into that lower bracket where they look to try and make the run there. Hopefully a bit more of a favorable matchup for them next weekend. We can really see what they are made of. But with that being said, that'll do it for this particular match. We have plenty more to run through, as the next match is going to be at the top of the hour. It is going to be, if we can pull up the schedule here.
Well, let's take a look at the schedule, as Sparky said. Let's just give it a moment. There we go. Poland and Estonia. I have to say this though. I haven't seen Estonia in the 7K mania scene, or the mania scene in general. But so it's really cool. It's really cool to see these two teams, especially Estonia. Though I have to say one thing. I stand corrected. I've seen Estonia in the mania scene. Wanna know where?
Where?
In the South Korean team, actually, back then.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Estonians. Completely forgot about them. But
exactly.
I mean, it's the one benefit of having this expanded format, this round of 24. We get to see some fresh faces who otherwise might not have had a chance to play in the World Cup. But, you know, I want to go one step further in terms of showing my support to these new emerging countries that have made it into this bracket. Did you know that we have banners for sale in the O store already as of the round of 24 for you to purchase for the low price of $2.50 USD?
Wow, $2? That's
just
so
$2.
cheap!
Exactly.
Oh my god!
And you can purchase one for any of the countries that made it to the bracket stage. You can purchase one all the way up to the grand finals for any of the countries, even if they've already been eliminated or later on down in the tournament. And outside of that, I mean, still have 2 more matches to round out this weekend. Join us in about 20 minutes for Poland versus Estonia. And then after that, we got the USA going up against Spain. So until then, don't touch that dial. We'll be back in just a little bit. Take care, y'all.